Long ago, before Israel had kings, the people were often ruled by judges, leaders chosen by God to guide and rescue them. Among these leaders was a man unlike anyone else, Samson. His story is one of incredible strength, human weakness, and ultimately, God's power at work. Samson's story begins with a miracle. His parents had no children, but an angel appeared and promised them a son. This child would be set apart for God, living under a special vow called the Nazirite vow. As a sign of this vow, Samson's hair was never to be cut. From the time he was young, Samson had extraordinary strength. It wasn't from his muscles or training, it was a gift from God. With this strength, Samson began to deliver Israel from their enemies, the Philistines. Samson's life was filled with dramatic moments. He killed a lion with his bare hands. He defeated entire groups of Philistines, armed with nothing more than the jawbone of a donkey. Time and time again, his strength shocked everyone around him. But Samson also struggled. He was impulsive, often ruled by his desires instead of wisdom. This weakness led him into dangerous relationships, none more famous than with a woman named Delilah. The Philistines, desperate to stop Samson, bribed Delilah to discover the secret of his strength. She asked him again and again, and though he lied at first, eventually Samson gave in. He told her that his strength was tied to his hair, the outward sign of his vow to God. One night, while Samson slept, Delilah cut his hair. When the Philistines attacked, Samson tried to fight back as before, but the Lord's strength had left him. He was captured, blinded, and thrown into prison. Samson's story could have ended in shame, but even in his weakness, God was not finished with him. As Samson sat in prison, his hair began to grow back. One day, the Philistines gathered in a great temple to celebrate their victory. They brought Samson out as entertainment, mocking him. Standing between the temple's pillars, Samson prayed, "O God, strengthen me just one more time." With one final act of faith, Samson pushed with all his might. The pillars collapsed, the temple fell, and Samson defeated more Philistines in his death than he had in his life. Samson's story reminds us that God can use even flawed people to accomplish his purposes. Strength is not just about muscles or power, it comes from God. And when we turn back to Him, even after failure, He can still work through us. That is the story of Samson, a man of great strength, great weakness, and a God whose power is greater than both.